Something else that's been phenomenal.
Yes, Creature Commandos.
Creature Commandos.
Should we address the main thing of this episode that everyone got very excited on Twitter? We got our first look at DCU Batman.
Yeah, people are really running with that silhouette, aren't they?
Yes, I have an announcement to make. The shape and body size of that bat is me. I am the DCU Batman.
Here's the thing. I get why people are excited. It makes complete sense.
Yeah.
There's a reason he was a silhouette with no real detail shown.
Yeah.
They haven't decided what he's going to look like.
James Gunn even said after the episode, it's like, we made him more silhouetted because we need it to be just open. Though then I have seen some people that were a bit negative about it, like being like, oh, they're shoehorning themselves into someone has to be that body type now for Batman. Like it's got to be a stock. And people are like, no, it's animated. It doesn't have to be like match for match.
I'm willing to bet right now, if when they announce who DCU Batman is, I mean, people will be horrible about their body anyway because people are so weird. But then when we see them in their suit, if it's not like that, people are going to start. Certain people are going to be going, oh, James Gunn can't even keep any consistency in his universe, blah, blah, blah. No one gives a shit. He just wanted, as he said, he wants this universe to feel like it's always existed and it's always lived. It makes sense that one of these villains would have been caught by someone important. So they gave us a silhouette of Batman so that we knew Batman's here. He's doing stuff. He's arresting criminals.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smart thing to like just tease Batman is about in the DCU already. Like, because let's be honest, after Superman comes out, the next big one that everyone's like going to be wanting to know is who is Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he's given a bit of a tease. I actually think like it wouldn't surprise me if he does kind of plan to have a more bulkier, like strong looking Batman, and it's like when we see it, we go, "Huh." He's actually some like unintentionally they do match closely enough that
I'm of two opinions when it comes to the Batman in the DCU. I either want them to be stocky short ear style Batman or athletic insanely tall ear Batman. I don't want no medium ear bullshit. I want them to commit to an extreme.
Yeah, I get you.
But yeah, it was just cool to see Batman there, causing a bit of fear. It was awesome. And it was nice as well to actually have Dr. Phosphorus's story, not just have an out and out, oh, they didn't deserve to be in prison.
Well, the internet disagrees with you. I saw you getting riled up about this.
I couldn't believe it.
I can't believe that he is such a victim of the crime that was committed against him. And like, no one deserves to go through that and be forced into that life of murdering children.
Like, let's be completely clear here. He did something that is morally grey in working with a crime family, but he was trying to do something good. I understand that. There's better ways to go about it, but I understand it to an extent. It then gets your family killed and you forever altered. I would have accepted revenge.
On the mob boss.
On the mob boss, I probably could have glazed over some of the secondary stuff. If he still went to prison, I'd have been like, I get why he did it, but he deserved prison. Overall, he's still like, I feel a bit sorry for him.
Yeah.
Then going on to replace him and become a more vicious crime boss in his wake, you were looking for an excuse to be a crime boss at that point. I'm not being funny. If everyone I love died and I get superpowers, I'm a man. I'm probably going to get revenge on the people who did it. I'm not going to take over their business.
This is the thing, though, isn't it? If you actually look at like the tragic backstory leads you on two paths. Either you become Batman, orphan child, become superhero, hate the world, or you become crime boss, orphan child, hate the world. And
it's actually a really good villain origin story because, there's a little bit of sympathy. You kind of understand how they started on that path, but there gets to that crossroad and you're like, no, you've gone too far now. It's what I've always said is one of my favourite things they did with the Netflix villains is in the first season when you get introduced to them, you feel sorry for. You're like, oh, they're the bad guy, hate them. Then the story makes you feel sorry for them with like more information and finding out about their past. And then normally in the finale or the penultimate episode, they do something so morally irredeemable. We'll just go with that instead. That you are just like, oh no, you are the fucking bad guy for a reason. Kick his ass, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, whatever.
It's funny like how much this show is making you like the villains to the point where then you like either it shows you like Phosphorus, oh, he went too far, or Weasel, okay, he's been punished wrong. That then you're like, okay, the whole government, like this government thing against like these creatures is very mixed on if some of them deserve to be there and some of them don't. But I like how it's managing to make us like somewhat make all of these villains be likable. But yeah, I will say when he did become mob boss, the glow in the dark face paint, like his mob aesthetic, very fucking cool.
Do you know what this makes me excited for though? And I hope it survives past the animation.
Go on.
I hope if we get henchmen for Batman and Superman and whatever, we get like comic book style henchmen that have like uniforms. I really hope that makes a comeback.
No, I think we will. Because let's be honest, James Gunn, a lot of that stuff he's doing stuff on purpose for a type of DCU that he's building. We know he's going more comic accurate.
So he's gone for henchmen who have uniforms, and I hope that survives. I want to see a Joker or a Two-Face. If we get like Two-Face in the DCU, seeing a bunch of mobsters wearing half and half suits and face paint on one side to show they're one of Two-Face's guys, that would be fucking awesome. We've had the dark and the gritty and the realistic take from Nolan until now. I am ready for a comic book film that looks like, to an extent, not going too far, obviously, like a vomit of colour and camp and just a bit out there where you're like, this is fucking ridiculous, but I don't care because, superheroes. That's what I want.
Like, you can do it in a not too wacky way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the two-tone suit, like, you can make it a lot more subtle, but still like, oh, that's two different things.
Yeah.
Bit of face paint, or even it's like tattoos on one side of the face and not on the other. And that's like, there's ways they can do it that makes it not too crazy. But yeah, I would actually love if they bring this out of this show and do like the henchman thing, because it was very cool to have them.
Yeah, it's always been the thing. Like, even if you go back and look at like the Arkham games,
a
lot of the time you can tell
the Riddler
who they're affiliated with based on what they're wearing. Like, that's the whole fucking point. So I really hope we get that. That'd be a lot of fun. But the shows are fucking awesome, man. I'm loving it so much.
It is great.
But people are also enjoying. So when Waller's at Flag Senior's bedside and she actually looks concerned for him.
Yeah.
That people are quite complimentary of that. They're like, it's actually really cool to see Waller not just as pure evil, but add some shades of grey to her because she does actually care if Flag is okay.
Yeah, like it's showing that there is some small bits of humanity still in there with her. It's reserved for loyal soldiers that have actually worked alongside, like, with her for a long time. Like,
oh yeah, they still have to fit into her morality structure, but she does have it for someone at least.
It's gonna make for, because we've obviously only got one episode left, which is unfortunate. I want more.
Yeah,
but we are getting a season 2.
We are.
This finale, I have a feeling, is gonna be pure chaos.
Yeah, I mean, we've still got to get Nina's story.
True. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's going to be mixed in.
I really hope she's just absolutely batshit murderous psycho bitch with no redeeming qualities.
I love
it. Like a flip on its head.
Like something happens and everyone looks in like, the fuck? And then we get the flashbacks to she's done this shit before.
Yeah.
But obviously they're all like, they end up with the little group up at the end of this episode. They're going to arrive at the castle. You got Frankenstein's just arrived. So they're probably going to have it like he gets to the castle at the same time. currently they're still trying to murder the princess. You're probably going to get Rick's going to wake up and tell Amanda Waller the truth.
Mm-hmm.
To which she's going to try and contact them. I
She
think
might blow their heads up.
maybe. Frankenstein, I think, is going to be completely distracted by the bride and confess his love to her, and then just casually drop the truth about the situation in just like a side remark, and then continue to be like obsessing over it. And everyone's going to be like, hang on a second, what do you mean this is all faked? And he's like, that's not important. Like,
What matters is we're together.
Yeah. It's just, I think there's going to be like this, everything's
Melee
going
of
to arrive, and it's just going to be, there's either the princess doesn't die, or plot twist, it is true, she is evil.
Not because of what Cersei thought, because of something else altogether or whatever, yeah.
Also, did you see people have a like theory that's probably not actually the case, that the princess is the little blonde girl the Weasel tried to save?
That makes no sense, though.
It makes no sense, but when you put the little girl next to a picture of the prince, that they are very, very similar.
I think that was just supposed to be a nod at why Weasel was instantly super well behaved and happy to see the princess.
I also think so, because people have also noticed his lawyer, looks like one of the little girls.
Yeah.
And again, she has a certain level of like friendliness and control with him.
So I don't know why Weasel decided to come back. Why didn't he just stay in the field playing with the doggos?
So he like has I think he was thinking of the princess, because obviously he played. I think he's going to protect her.
Me too.
Which then leans into this idea of like, what if it is that same little girl? It would be a wild, like...
I wish he just stayed in the field with the doggos and was happy there forever.
But I know it's very far-fetched for it to be this girl. What if that girl survived, knew the injustice of the American system,
I went to her own country where weird man hybrid monster things wouldn't be assumed guilty.
Yeah, but she goes there. She's gained all this power. Her actually wanting to like bomb America is because she wants to get back at what they did to her as a child. Like, there's very far-fetched theory, but imagine the twist if that's revealed.
The subplot with the sex workers, I think, was very well written.
That was a really good part of it.
I know it's had some divisive moments on the internet. People think that James Gunn was kind of talking down about them. I think they've misconstrued what he was saying with that.
Yeah,
I think his entire thing was everyone's worth saving, and actually the bride was in the wrong for talking down to them.
Yeah,
and she was supposed to have this full circle moment where she realised actually she was no better than them just because of what they were doing.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think it also was to kind of on the nose be like how most people talk about sex workers, and then it being that some drunk meta-humans,
once again just adding into the idea that people are used to people with powers existing.
Yes,
it's a bit strange to see one, but they're out there. No one is completely, oh my god, you have superpowers. It's oh, you're a meta.
But like
freak.
her, like you said, her having that full circle moment of then protecting them because they deal with the same dickheads that she deals with. It was really well. I think it was really well written in. For the bride. I liked how when they regrouped as well, Dr. Phosphorus was like, "Damn, new look, very hot," and she's like, "Don't even stop."
I really enjoy this cast of characters, bearing in mind I knew like nothing about any of them going into this. I've enjoyed it a lot. I want some of them to die just because of the nature of the nature of the team is kind of predicated on no one can stay on it forever. So either some people do need to be exonerated and earn their freedom so they can go on and be used elsewhere, or some of them need to die to make room for new team members. That is how it works.
I think Weasel should get freedom because he deserves justice.
I
think the bride doesn't end up getting freedom, but doesn't die. And I also think Frankenstein ends up being brought in, like arrested and brought in.
That'd be cool.
So then
And then they're just in prison
together. And she's
That
just
would-
sat there like not impressed, and he's just constantly confessing his love.
That would be horrific.
I do think it wouldn't surprise me if Nina dies and everyone's like, no, because she's the nice one. And then also Dr. Phosphorus dies in a sort of realizes, because he had this little moment with the kid where after the flashback and he'd said, I wish you hadn't seen me, everyone then saw his backstory and was like, I was like, oh shit, he's going to kill the kid. And then it's him playing with the kid. I wonder if he has a bit of a moment of like, I did wrong. This is my redemption thing, and does something and dies doing it as like his.
Maybe.
But yeah, I don't think they all make it out of this.
No, I think that'd be crazy.